a seat. Now, you're from Grimsley.
Yes, sir.
And offensive line coach?
Offensive line coach.
Is
yes,
it
sir.
Blenham?
Blenham.
Blenham.
Yes, sir.
I was going to say, because there's a place, I'm going to Myrtle Beach, there's a place called Blenham down that way. I've seen that place so many times. Blenham, right?
Blenham, yes, sir.
Spell that for me.
Blenman.
Blenham, okay. Coach Blenham with us with the Whirlies. How long have you been with the Whirlies?
This is my second year with them.
Second year. How'd you end up at Grimsley?
Well, actually, with the new staff, they went ahead and got Coach Resignalo, offensive coordinator, and he went ahead and gave a call out, said he needed an O-line coach, and here I am. So,
where were you at before you ended up at Grimsley?
I was actually in semi-pro football. I was coaching with the Carolina Heat. I was the head coach for the Carolina Rams for a little while, and I also coached with the Carolina Bulls this past year.
Where are the Bulls out of? Where are they located?
Located at High Point, North Carolina.
Don't know much about that. I have heard of the Heat because they had like a former Grimsley coach, Malachi King. Is that
Malachi
right?
King, yes,
sir. He was
sir.
there for a long time. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome coach. Awesome coach.
And it was another guy played for them. He was like a wide receiver. I used to know that guy because he worked at Steak and Shake on Lawndale. I knew that guy for a long time. He played with that Carolina Heat because he was talking about going down to Eastern Randolph, play some games, I think, down there. Didn't you guys?
We did play in Ramseur.
Yeah, and used to practice, I think, sometimes over at Brown Center maybe at one time back in the old days.
Back in the old days,
Exactly.
a little bit of Jackson Middle School.
Yeah, Jackson Middle was mentioned in there too, yeah. Can't remember my receiver's name, but he was with that team for a pretty good while.
Sammy Henderson, maybe?
Nah, I remember Sammy. He was out of Northeast Guilford. Remember him from back in the day, sure do.
Yep.
His name will come back to me later on. That kid who worked at Steak and Shake on Lawndale was a wide receiver and a defensive back on that team back in the day. I think he was even trying to play some quarterback one time. He was a kid who played, I think from high school, maybe down around Fayetteville, Greenville, down that way.
Oh, okay, okay.
Down that way. Now, with Grimsley, you guys have got a pretty potent offense working right now with Malik Stimson running the show, right?
Yes, sir. He's a good leader. He's a good field general. And, he's definitely picked up a lot. He's still young, so, I mean, his potential is really high. And we're really high on him. He's doing a great job for us.
And you look at your background, having coached some semi-pro football, look at Coach Resigano's background, having coached, he was there down in Fayetteville coaching the arena football team, I think.
He was down there
with
the
national title game.
With the Heroes. He was at the championship game, yes.
He made it to that level. You got Coach Neil Mitchell, who's got the college coaching experience over at Greensboro College.
Oh, he's an awesome coach. I mean, I'm really blessed to have a lot of good coaches around me, and I'm learning a lot from them, and hopefully I'm contributing to them as well.
So. And Coach Blenham with us from the Grimsley Whirlies, and college and high school background. Take us back where you came from before you got here, going back to those earlier days.
Well, high school, I played ball at North Mecklenburg High.
Okay.
Down near Charlotte in Huntersville, and I went to college at Winston-Salem State. And
who was coaching over there then?
It was Coach Richardson, Pete Richardson.
Gotcha. Okay.
At that time, it was around 91 to 95.
Gotcha.
I was there with Richard Huntley.
Oh yeah, I was reading a story today. Some coach was talking about it. He had a back now. This guy is the kid down in Charlotte, down around that way, Sun Valley. The guys at Sun Valley High School running back. And the coach said, I had a couple of guys back I coached in high school. Coach Richard Huntley played for Winston State and later on played for the Steelers, I think.
For the Steelers,
yeah,
yes.
Exactly. So some good background there. And you come out of Winston-Salem State and you went to coaching. Where'd you go into coaching at? Don got a couple of our friends there, I think. Where did you get your coaching started at?
Actually started coaching at Jackson Middle School, a little bit with the Carolina Heat also around that time, and that's actually where it blossomed. I had a season-ending, or actually career-ending injury with the Heat because I was a player.
What position did you play?
Actually played O-line for them.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Was that the same in college, same in high school, O-lineman?
High school, I was actually on the other side of the ball playing a linebacker, and moved over to this side of the ball because I was pretty good at center. Played a little bit of guard for them. And once I got injured, they asked me if I wanted to coach, and here I am.
Who was your big inspiration that kind of got you into coaching? There's always one coach that kind of leads you in that direction, kind of inspires you to go that route.
Actually, it was Malachi King. I mean, going transitioning from a player to a coach, he kind of took me on as a mentor figure, and he really gave me a lot of knowledge about the intensity of the game. You know, everything slowed down for me once I went into coaching, and he actually showed me the ins and outs and the X's and O's. So,
that's a big point you bring up. I think a lot of things, occasionally I will stop in life and I'll say, man, all we need to do is slow down a little bit and take it all in. I'm thinking, when do we ever stop and really let that soak in to slow down and take it all in? Because our pace is so fast. Offensive coaching, the football pace is so fast. Come on, get on. But sometimes you got to slow down and be able to teach these guys, be able to take all this stuff in and make it work, make it real.
Exactly, exactly. Make it tangible for them.
Yes, because sometimes you get kids in those line players, even other position players. You get these large groups in practice, you're working, and I would hate to say it, but I guarantee in some cases, half the kids, they don't even know what's going on because they haven't had time to ask the questions. It's hard to slow it down because you got so much to do in such a short amount of time. That's what makes it tough.
That definitely makes it tough. And that's the one good thing that we're doing at Grimsley. Of course, Coach Resinalo is a big attention to detail, and you know he makes everybody accountable.
Yeah, because he's a military man at one time, right?
Most definitely. Most definitely. And he keeps everybody accountable, from the players to the fellow coaches. You know, he really dots his I's and crosses his T's. So, you know,
so you guys, I don't think he was on the offensive side. He's on the defensive side. He's come around pretty well. It's this Daniel Godwin kid.
Daniel Godwin, goodness, he's got a high motor. Very good kid. Good attitude. Definitely a leader.
And Kalijah Brower, another big kid for you there, too. He should be one of the more hungry kids in the city because he said he didn't get to play last year. He's got to be hungry.
Right. He's definitely hungry. He's doing a great job for us on both sides of the ball. I'm glad that he's taking a leadership role on his football team, you know, getting guys to where they need to be. You know, I expect big things from him this year.
And you were there last year, right? This is your second year. Let me give you one player's name. I was always impressed by this kid, not to take anything away from the other kids that played on the offensive line last year, because you had a good group there last year. We had all of them in here one Thursday night last year. Never forget, I kept asking those guys, what's the score going to be in the Page game? They were blowing out some huge scores. I said, I'm never asking those guys that question again because I don't want to put them in a bad situation. I'll never ask you the Page player, the Grimsley player, what's the score going to be in that game again. But back to the question about it, what happened to Clark Yow? Because Clark Yow was a very, I don't know, something about Clark was just something special about that dude. He was tough. He actually, you could see it in him, and when you saw it in him, he actually brought it to the game and laid it on the table and got the job done.
Clark Yow is definitely an awesome football player, awesome person, and you know, it's just one of those guys that you automatically gravitate to as a person and a player. High motor, he gives everything of himself for the team, and he just puts self out of the way, and that's one of the biggest things about Clark Yow that, you know, will take him a long way in life, not only football.
Exactly. Coach Blenham with us tonight. So on the offensive side of the ball, you got yourself, you got Coach Resinalo, you've got Coach Neil Mitchell. Any other offensive coaches among that core on that half of the field?
Coach Gaither and Coach Lee. Both of them, they help out with the wide receivers. We also have Coach Hayes with the running backs.
Coach Hayes is a veteran too. He's been around a while.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
God loves running backs. That man's been coaching running backs for a long time.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And he brings a lot of intensity and energy to the game, but he's smart. So, you know, just sitting down and listening to him, even for 5 minutes, you learn something from the man.
Say about 25 years ago, did you ever see yourself in this position where you're at today, coaching high school football, helping there at Grimsley, doing that offensive line work? Did you see yourself in this spot?
Wow, I never would have thought I would be in this position, and you know, I'm really thankful, you know, for the opportunities that all the coaches have given me, and especially Coach Pat Neal and Coach Resinalo. Honestly, I never thought I would be in this position, this time and place.
Gotcha.
So it's awesome.
Good place to be. Big game against Ragsdale tomorrow night. What's the key for the offensive line?
Key for the offensive line is really to communication. We definitely have to pick up that outside blitz. You know, and just composure. The biggest thing, because we're young, is going to be composed and just do what we do.
And you've only got, from what I hear, only 4 seniors on this team, so it's a very young team this year.
Very young team, but that could translate to big things in the future.
Exactly. Now look at this. I've got over there, that's the News and Records top 10 poll. I don't see Grimsley in there anywhere.
Nope.
And here's our GreensboroSports.com poll. I think Grimsley is in there, but again, what do you got to do to get Grimsley in these polls, keep Grimsley in these polls, and keep Grimsley moving up in these polls?
Well, the biggest thing we have to do is just take it one day at a time, one play at a time. We're not looking at the polls, as motivation. I think we're going to be our biggest motivator this year.
I'll tell you one thing, got off to such a good start last year. I know you beat Ragsdale first game, then you beat Southern Guilford. You may have won more after that, but you got off to a very good start last year. Surprised some people, but boy, you just laid the groundwork for a very productive season.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And a lot of the earlier wins kind of paved the way for that playoff run.
Yeah.
Which it really helped us in the long run because we had a tough schedule and we're in a tough conference. So, where anybody can beat anybody anytime.
Exactly. And Coach Blenham with us, and again, that game last night set the stage. Your varsity team would have been there. I'm sure most of those guys were there last night. Kind of set the stage for a very good year at Ragsdale, 26-26 tie. That was just some kind of crazy game last night.
Awesome comeback. Those guys, they really fought hard. Amazing catch at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
To go ahead and seal the tie. I can't say enough about the JVs. They're going to make great leaders in the future for us. Really love those guys. Love working with them.
So last night you had Simpson. Tomorrow you got Stimson, and you guys have kind of paving the way to win some games and get this Grimsley team put permanently on the map, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. High hopes for the Whirlies.
Blenham, good to see you, my man.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Good work. Look forward to seeing you down the road. Tell Coach Mack we need to get the Mack attack going on that defensive side tomorrow night and just keep working hard.
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt.
And pass the good word on Coach Pat for sending you. And Jonathan, his little son, we've been mentioning him all night long. Got a shout out for little Jonathan tonight, too.
Okay. Yeah, shout outs to everybody in Whirly Nation. And thank you for having me.
You got it, Coach. Good to see you.
All right, good to see you.
Keep up the good work. You can lose about 30 pounds. You'll still be playing for the Heat next year?
No, my days are over.
Finished.
I'm done. I'm coaching.
The bones and the joints say no, right?
Yes, bones, the joints, and the wife says no.
You got it. Keep rolling.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Sir.